Traders, is it time to start selling the euro? Is US dollar strength back in the market? And how are we going to trade the yen? Well, let's find out because it's time for the weekly forecast. Welcome back to Simply Forex, the channel that provides you with in-depth market analysis, trade ideas, tips, and advice so you too can succeed at trading. And if you stay till the end of the vid, I'm also going to give you all of my swing trades for this week. So stay tuned for that, guys. And if that sounds like a plan, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash that like button. We are going to start with the word uncertainty, right? Nobody knows how Trump's tariffs are going to play out. And this is what's creating this volatility in the market and this uncertainty. Are the indices finding a bottom and it's good time to buy the indices, or is it just part of a longer downtrend, right? There's uncertainty there. Also, the market doesn't really know what to do with the US dollar. Does Trump want a strong US dollar? Does he want a weak US dollar? So there's uncertainty everywhere, but we've still got some really good trading opportunities this week, guys, and I'm going to share them with you. But let's start by looking at the charts and looking at the dollar index. This is the dollar index and this is the weekly chart. And as you can see, we're clearly in this downtrend, right? We've seen that US dollar weakness, right, come into the market, and we're in a downtrend. So should this dollar weakness continue, right? It's difficult to go against that, right? Looking at this chart. However, we are a little overextended here and we've had a nice bullish weekly candle. So in the short to mid-term, could we perhaps see over the next week or couple of weeks a bit of a retrace in the dollar before it comes lower, right? Rarely will you see trends just do this, guys. They're not just going to go bang, right? They come down, they retrace, they go down, they retrace, right? So is it time for the dollar to have a bit of a retrace? And like I say, for a week or two, we might see some dollar strength. Okay, now that's very possible. And what backs that up is the monthly chart, right? Because the monthly chart is clearly in an uptrend. It was in a range. Okay. And then bang, price broke this range. And now we've retraced to an interesting level of dynamic support and the moving average 20, right? Could this be a good level for dollar strength to come back into the market? Now, the monthly candle so far is not telling us this, but if you start seeing a candle on the monthly chart with a nice big wick and something like this, then maybe, right? Dollar strength is back. But either way, right, even if we see monthly trend continue or we see a bit of a weekly retrace, we can expect a bit of US dollar strength. And we saw that at the back of last week. And that has actually led to a few trade ideas. So the first one would be Aussie dollar, US dollar. Okay, so let's find Aussie dollar, US dollar. If we go to the weekly chart, and this sums up the uncertainty as well, right? So we was clearly in this downtrend. We had dollar strength for a very long time. And now we've just had, scruffy price action. All of that in there tells us there's uncertainty, right? In the markets, surrounding the dollar. But, right, we've got a very bearish weekly candle, right? Bouncing off a nice resistance level. Okay, again, this is the weekly chart. So I think Aussie dollar, we can just take back down to these lows in here, right? It's not, we've still got about 70 pips room there, but Aussie dollar, US dollar would be a sell trade. And, there's that US dollar strength we've started to see. It's also the same for New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Obviously, these two are highly correlated. But similar picture, right? This is the weekly chart. It was in this downtrend and it's just been a little bit scruffy ever since, almost a slight uptrend, really. We're starting to see higher lows, not quite higher highs, but, is that the start of an uptrend? And then we get a candle like this. No, it's not, right? This level is holding. And if anything, US dollar strength could take price back down to here. All right, so US dollar strength We saw it on the back of last week, and there's a couple of trade ideas there. So Aussie dollar, US dollar sells, and New Zealand dollar, US dollar sells. Now, the next big thing I want to talk about is euro weakness, right? I said at the top of the show, is it time to start selling the euro weakness? And I would say yes. So if we start with euro US dollar, because we've just been talking about the US dollar, we know euro was stronger than Mike Tyson in his prime, right? Look at just euro was just on a tear. It was so strong, okay? But now it's reached, right, a bit of a resistance level through here. If I drag this to the left, you can see it touches more areas, okay? And at that resistance level, look at that weekly candle. So not only is that US dollar strength that we spoke about, but you'll also see, we'll look at a couple of other euro pairs, it's also euro weakness, okay? And this is definitely due a retrace, right? This is overextended and we're starting to see big bearish candles, okay? And for those reasons, again, this is not what I think, it's what I'm seeing. We're overextended, big bearish candles. We're miles away from the moving average 20. We're going to start seeing a retrace with the euro, okay? So I would look to sell euro because we're against trend. I would just keep coming down to psychological numbers, right? I would come down to 10700, 10600, and then once we get down to 10600, we're at a good support level. All right, but euro US dollar sells as well. Now, if we look at the day chart, we just had a fresh structure break, right? We was in a uptrend on the day chart, and you can just see these lows in here, even that low, probably by about a pip, but that candle has broken these lows in here. So that is a fresh structure break on the day chart, right? So that's telling us we can definitely sell euro US dollar as well. All right, we haven't had a structure break for some time on this pair. So that is a big deal, guys. We can start selling euro US dollar. And this euro weakness that I'm talking about has given us other trade ideas, right? So if we look at euro Aussie dollar, we go to the weekly chart, I would suggest this is still a sell trade because it's at such a key level here. This is the weekly chart. Again, these are swing trades. We've got this big bearish top wick. Admittedly, last week's candle isn't super bearish, but it's more this big wick that's telling, right? And we're very overextended, as we are with lots of euro pairs, and I think we can take these euro pairs lower. And again, I would just keep coming down to psychological numbers, potentially all the way down to this piece of support here. Now, with this day chart, we're not in a downtrend, right? We're still in this uptrend. But what's interesting here is this level just keeps holding. Look at these wicks, right? Buyers are slowly giving up. Sellers are coming into the market. Will that be the catalyst for this to start dropping? All right, so euro Aussie dollar sells, also like euro Canadian dollar sells. If we start with the weekly chart, again, right, when we was up here, super overextended. As with all euro pairs, we are in a weekly uptrend, right? There's no two ways about it. That is in an uptrend. But we can trade the retrace. And we've got this big bearish wick, followed by this big bearish candle. And again, we can come down to some psychological levels, 1.54 thousand, even potentially all the way back down to this support level as well. And again, if we take a quick look at the day chart, could we say this is a structure break? I would say yes, we could, right? Like with euro US dollar, we was in this uptrend, right? But price has finally broken, yeah? Thursdays and Fridays candle have stayed below this level. So that is a daily structure break as well, and we can start selling euro Canadian dollar. And then the last one, that's all the euro pairs. So euro Aussie dollar, euro CAD, euro Aussie dollar, we want to sell. But stay tuned, guys. We're still looking at the Swiss franc. We're going to take a look at the yen as well. But before we do, if I could please ask everyone to subscribe to the channel, smash that notification button, and please smash the like button. If you haven't already, please come join our trading community, right? You can jump in there. You jump if you want. You can share knowledge, ideas, have a chit chat with other traders, and it's free. So please come join our free Discord channel. If you want to improve as a trader and you want access to our premium trading education, then please check out our website, www.simply-forex.com. And it's all in there, guys. Also, don't forget to join us for the live streams Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, where we do live trades and analysis. So check that out as well. Right, what we're going to look at, we are going to look at the yen now, because let's pick any yen pair. Right, let's start at the top. Let's pick an Aussie dollar yen. Now, this is the day chart. And if you looked at the day chart, right, this is the problem with the yen at the moment. Okay, generally we're looking at this, right? We're in an uptrend. These lows have held and we're starting to get higher highs. Price has retraced to a really nice area of value, and we're starting to see bullish wicks. Look at those wicks. That's buyers in there, right? So looking at the day chart, we'd be like, right, let's buy this back up to this level. And I would totally agree with you. But the problem with all the yen pairs is the daily and the weekly are so conflicting. If we look at the weekly chart, look at that. Right, that is a weekly downtrend, right? We've come to a good level of what was once support becomes resistance, and then look at that candle, right? You do not want to buy that candle. And this sums up the yen, right? It goes back to that uncertainty with the indices. Are the indices finding a bottom and it's time to start buying the indices, or is it just a move down? We're waiting for a retrace before the indices move lower. Right, and that's going to have a big impact on yen, which is a flight to safety, obviously, right? So if you just look at that weekly's candle followed by that weekly candle, that sums up yen, right? Risk on, risk off, risk on, risk off. That's what we keep seeing in the markets. And it's the same with any yen pair, right? If we look at euro yen, right? Day chart again, right? We're in an uptrend, clearly, right? We're back at this nice support level. Can we start buying it back up to here? Quite possibly, but you look at the weekly chart, do you want to start, buying into that big bearish candle that's bounced off of this resistance level? Right? Look at any of them, really. Let's have a look at Swiss franc yen. Let's start with the weekly chart this time. You look at the weekly chart, right? We're in this downtrend. Right, we've got this really nice big bearish candle at the moving average 20. Let's start selling Swiss franc yen. Right. If you look at the day chart, let's start buying Swiss franc yen. That's the problem, guys. Right. This is a beautiful daily entry. Right. Uptrend, retrace into value, and a support level, moving average 20 coming round. I would buy that, but I cannot buy that weekly candle. So that's the problem with all yen pairs. Risk on, risk off, uncertainty. And you will see that more in yen than you will any other currency, because it's a flight to safety. It's, they're all highly impacted by the economy and what happens to the indices, but yen mostly, right? Because it's flight to safety. So yen, I'm staying away for those reasons. However, Swiss franc is giving us some trading opportunities. Now, Swiss franc is also a flight to safety, but these are nicely trending. Okay, so if we look at euro Swiss franc, right, we're in this uptrend. Okay, we've had a nice retrace back to an area of value, potentially support. Maybe it wants to come a little bit further before it starts going up. But that on the weekly chart is a really nice level to start buying euro Swiss franc from. And I still think there's room to move into, guys, right? So euro Swiss franc on the weekly chart is a buy. And if you look at the day chart, this last low is holding. All of these wicks even that one, they're all closing back within one another, right? And what you might see is a big wick down, right? Something like this. It touches this support level in here, touches the moving average 20. We get a big wick, close back in there like that. That will be a really nice level to start buying, a really nice candle to start buying. So Euro Swiss franc buys. I also like pound Swiss franc buys. Again, if we look at the weekly chart, right, we had this resistance level, and then finally we had this big weekly candle. Now, the body of this candle has broken out of that resistance, right? Nice big bullish candle. We've got room to move into, back up to these highs over here, right? And even this candle has a bottom wick to it as well, right? If we look at the day chart, it has been scruffy, right? But again, yeah, we're still seeing all these bullish-ish candles bouncing off of this support level at the moving average 20. I'm still very much interested in buying pound Swiss franc. And also Canadian dollar Swiss franc. It is worth pointing out that this is against trend, right? You can clearly see we are in a weekly downtrend, but we've got a really nice support level here, and we have had a reaction at that level, right? We've got a nice big bullish weekly candle. And, you know, because it's against trend, I'm not going to go crazy. I would just go to this 6,200 psychological level, right? You can still see that's bullish. This is bullish. I think we can take price back up to this level of resistance. All right, so Swiss franc weakness we can trade. There's one more trade we've got here, guys, that I'm looking at, and that is Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. Now, this was actually a swing trade idea from last week, and it's delivered, right? It has just been dropping like a stone. Now, importantly, this weekly candle, see the body of the candle, has actually broken all of these lows in here. So that suggests we can keep selling Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, right? If I zoom out a little bit, you can see why that is my target. But again, guys, you know, rarely does a trend... Sorry, let me recenter that. Rarely does a trend do this, guys. Yeah, bang, right? You're probably going to see a retrace, yeah, and then we can start selling, and it will give you many opportunities to start selling this, guys, all right? But Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar sells. And guys, that concludes all of my swing trades for this week. If you've enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button. Don't forget to join our trading community. Check out our website. Come join us for the live streams during the week, and I'll see you soon, guys.